Aloha, what's up everybody? What a nice way to finish the 2020 SUP season, SUP year here with Connor Baxter. Super stoked. Thank you so much for your time. It's been such a great year for him. We want to talk a little bit about his year. We want to talk about his perspective of the sport. He's seen so many races. He's gone to so many different world championships, world tours. So we want to talk a little bit about this. How he sees the new generation coming up. So we're gonna make this a little bit of a two-part video because 10 minutes are just not gonna be enough. And also, of course, the biggest question in the room is how would we think about clicking a like button, supporting this video with a comment, a question, and a like and a subscription, and maybe by next year we'll have some more followers here, and that would really help me out. But let's jump right into it. And first, of course, your personal year, Connor, man. You set out to do what you said you were going to do. You did the sprint and you nailed all the sprint. Tell us a little bit how that is.
You worded it perfect. At that point, I literally said, distance or not as fun, I'm not as excited. Let's just set out and do what's fun for me, and that was the sprint and technical racing. And this year, for instance, considering the first race in March till now, I won every sprint race. Now there's not one that I didn't sign up for and didn't win. Every technical race minus ISA, which was a 30-minute technical, so not very really long. It's a long distance. It wasn't even necessarily anything I was training for. And then going into every single APP, I won 3 out of 4 of the sprints, the 200 meter off the beach in ISA. So that's what I was wanting to do, and to say it and then to actually do it was like, okay, wow, everything clicked.
So cool. So cool. Yeah, I mean, you announced it, you did it, and here we are. We are sitting with a true world champion here for 2022, no question asked. We had a video about this, if you guys want to look at it, where we can try to figure out what is representative and what's not. Well, he did not leave any question on the table. No, so that is super stoked. Now, with all the races and the titles that you won there, which one is the one that sticks out the most for you?
For me, it would have to be it would kind of be a 2-for-1, but it would have to be Poland. Poland was the most surreal, most, like top paddlers there. So the most meaning when I got off the water, I was like, looking at the, spreadsheets, and each heat was so stacked. That for me was one of those days where it was like, okay, this could be a long day, that everyone's here. And then to kind of back it up was the 1,000 meter, pretty much not the next day, but the following day. And same thing, everyone joined that, from the distance paddlers, like the Michaels, the T2s that didn't do the 200 meters. They're like, okay, let's do the technical. And that was still in that kind of paddle range that I'm excited and having fun for, and I'm super stoked to train for. And did it again, T2, and I pretty much right up to the beach. So that was definitely the most meaningful for me.
Let's take this a little bit back. History. You're known as the Channel Crosser, 32 miles, Molokai to Oahu, and you completely switched to sprint, which is interesting. I like to point out, because a sprint usually is the one that the young guns are doing really good in, and as you grow older, you gain kind of like that stamina, that mental capacity to hold through longer distances. You seem to kind of have flipped that on its head.
Yeah, I mean, two reasons really, particularly that, like, as you notice, there's no more long distance in the ocean, and if it is an ocean, they say, or even like the race there in Spain, right around the corner, right around the corner from Alicante, it's a bump, but it's bump every direction. This is not 32 downwind or 27 miles downwind, so it's a completely different animal. And if those races were still here, I would love to do that. I'll do that all day. I eat that up, especially even this 10-mile Maliko run, same thing. When it comes down to a flat water 14K around Notre Dame, don't get me wrong, it's beautiful, it's surreal, it's down the Thames River in London. It was amazing seeing all these huge historical things, but it's flat water. And even London was probably my best distance result, and that was like the soupiest, choppiest, messiest, and that was the only reason I was able to pull off a 3rd place, because my distance training this year, if it was anything over 80 seconds off the beach, it was downwind. So
Gotcha. Okay.
that's kind of the fun in the sport for me, and that's kind of keeping the engine, you know, the base work checked, and then the sprint stuff is super fun. And you know, I just went out, did what I needed to do, and took care of the family, and had another kid. And
Yes, congratulations, a busy dad now.
Yes.
To juggle all of that. How is that? Are you able to bring your family along a little bit as you plan sometimes, or?
This year, yeah, we got to bring them along for instance, the trials for the ISA in California, and then straight after that, the next weekend was the first stop of the APP World Tour. So they actually did come along for that, made a mark, went to Disneyland, of course, so juggled both of that in between events. It's amazing. I mean, this is definitely not easy, but I think that's what's kind of given me this so-called dad strength. I don't know what everyone was talking about, but it's this extra gear where you're not really getting, you know, optimal sleep or whatever it is, or you're sleeping in and this and that, you're going. It's not about me. You're very selfless. So teaches you a lot in life.
Yes, nice. Connor, 100%. I couldn't agree more as a dad. It's all about the kids. And since we're still a little bit in your personal life with 2022, I'm sure you take your kids everywhere, man.
Yeah, that's the plan for the most part. 2023 is coming up, and we'll see where the season goes, where the events end up, and definitely planning on bringing them for the most part. If it's a stealth mission, I can just go for a few days. I mean, that's of course just going to go do that event and come home. The further ones in Europe and so on, and if it's going to be more than a couple weeks, make a trip out of it, bring them along, let them see and experience while they can, you know, and that's the plan.
Cool. So you, of course, have plans for 2023.
Of course.
Let's talk about this just real quick before we go and start a little bit talking more about the past. Are you going to set out to repeat what you said to?
Pretty much, yeah. I guess I don't need to repeat it too long, but yeah, same thing. I'm just focusing on those events, the sprinting and shorter technicals. We'll see. Pan Am's is going to be a huge one for us Americans and Americas. Right. I mean, for the sport in general, it's the second largest gathering behind the Olympics. So super cool to be involved with that and representing USA. Hussein will be there, which will be super rad. So two Hawaii boys, Maui boys going out representing USA down in Chile. And yeah, really excited for that event as well.
Very cool. Well, there we have it. 2022, 2023 epic year coming and going for Connor. So we're going to talk a little bit about the past and how he's coming about, and he's seen so many races, so there's so much more to dive into, but that's going to be in the next video, and we'll see you right then.